Hey everybody, welcome to another business automation video. So when working with clients, one of the most requested use cases where having your automation and your emails together. For example, you've got client database, and then when you're adding a client, you should be able to easily send a welcome email, right, without jumping a bunch of hoops. Now Notion, while it's a great tool, has this problem when now you will need to connect multiple other tools. So recent PowerUp for Notion has come, and Power makes it really easy from Notion to have automations and emails together. So this is a quick demo of how it is done. So let's say that I've got my CRM with Notion. So as you can see, I've got the leads table. It's a pretty straightforward customer table where you can go ahead and add a customer. Now, I want to do three things. When I add a customer, I want to be able to send a welcome email. Secondly, when a reply comes from that email, this is the most important or like useful part. When a reply comes from that email, I want the Notion to be automatically informed about it. And finally, I should be able to follow up. Just three quick automations is what I'm going to be showing in this. So the first thing you do is that you go sign up for your part, and then you go ahead and connect your Notion database, which is here. All right. And then you need to connect your particular table. So at the moment, mine is called as 9 leads. So if you haven't connected, what you do is that you go ahead and click choose database. Sometimes it wouldn't be here if it is a newer table, at which point you'll have to re-authenticate. You can click here. It will take you to, re-authenticate, which is here. You can go ahead and select your pages. You can select the whatever particular database you want, and you can just allow access. In my case, I've already done it, so I'm just not going to redo it. And then you go to database and it will come up here. All right. Now, the second thing you will have to do is go ahead and setting it up. So you can go to the configuration and choose the property, the email property and the name property. That's it. Once these things are done, what I want to do is that when a new customer is added here in my leads table, I want to send an email. So I'll go to automations, and then I'm going to select my database, which is 9 leads. And then you can go ahead and create a new flow. I've already done it, but I'm going to redo it, right? I'm just going to open it up, to compare. So I'm going to create a new flow, and I'm going to say send welcome email. I'm going to add a 2 here just in case, because I've already done it once, right? And then when a record is created, I want this email to go through. Perfect. We are done. What is the first step? The first step is basically sending an email. So I'm going to click send email, and then what has happened? Yeah, send email. And then to whom are we going to send? So here you want to send it to our name. Name is, name is the field that we are going to use. So you can click here, which will bring up all the Notion variables, and you can select payload name, which I did. Now in the subject, I'm going to say welcome to your company ABC Limited, something, you guys figure out the best way. And if you want to put a name in here, again, you can select the variable, right? Perfect. And then you can put in your subject, hi, welcome. This is a dummy email, so I'm just going to say welcome, and I'm going to say regards, Taha. Now in here, if you want to put the name again, once again, you have got your variables here. Click there and you get your variables. Done. Perfect. We have got this bit ready. Now, once you send an email, you have an option to record all the communications in the Notion. This is really helpful if you want to track what emails have been sent from the system, right? I normally do that. So you can go ahead and select triggering record and save. Now, once I send the email, I want to now update the status. So I'm going to go ahead and say update record. So for the particular name, I would say this particular triggering record, I'm going to say that the status need to be updated to what? So I'm going to say status will be updated to contacted. Okay. And then I will also want to have a second email, a follow-up email sent. So you can have a follow-up date. All right. Now in here, I want to do a calculation. So for example, I want to have today's date and plus 2 days we are going to send a follow-up. So let's go ahead and create a variable to do that calculation. So I'm going to go ahead, click add step and select variable. I'm going to say follow-up date. And in here, we will have to calculate 2 days plus our, so there is a variable called as current date, okay, plus 2 days. So I'm not going to re-figure out how to do that. I'm just going to copy that particular variable here. This is the variable. You can use ChatGPT or whatever to figure it out. It's PHP, straightforward. So as you can see that you're taking this payload, which is the same as the one I just showed you, and then you're using little this PHP code to add 2 days into that. Perfect. And then I'm going to save. Now we have got a follow update. Drag it up, and then in the update record you can use that follow-up variable. So I'm going to go ahead and select that variable. Perfect. We are done with our first automation. All right, I'm going to save this, and then this is the one we just created. I'm going to just remove this or pause it so that that is not going to be affected. So now if I create a new record in Notion, a new customer, he should automatically be receiving an email, right? Yep. I'm just going to double check if everything is fine. Yep, everything is fine. To whom? Here we did a mistake. So we should be sending it to the email, not the name. Yep, I had to double check that, but perfect. Save. Okay, I just had to double check and I actually caught a mistake. Now I'm going to go ahead and then create a new record. I'm going to say I have a new customer. I'm going to call him Taha, and then I'm going to put here my own email ID. All right. Now I'm going to click out. Now a new record is created. Now, while the automations do run, because the Notion's webhooks are slightly late, it's going to take a minute or so for the automation to actually run. All right. So just going to wait till it runs. Okay, that ran. It took about 30 seconds or so. You can see that the automation has run, and then you can see that automatically the status was updated to contacted and a follow update came through. So today is April the 24th. As you can see, 2 days was added, and April the 26th is the follow update. Perfect. Now I should have received an email. I'm just going to refresh here, and you can see that welcome to ABC Limited. Welcome, the email has gone through. Now in here, if you want to check the update, you can go to send a welcome email. This is the automation, and over here you can see the logs, which is very helpful when you are debugging. So I'm just going to refresh. Yep, I had to make the screen a little bigger. You can see that the operation was completed. Now on top of all this, you also have the email logs. You can go here and you can see that the email was just sent. Now I'll show you the real magic. Now let's say that. So let's open this record. And as I've told, the email that we sent is already logged in, right? So a lot of softwares can do that. But now here's the magic. Now let's say that this particular customer receives your email. Let's say this is an outreach email or something, and he say, hey, let's book a meeting. So he actually replies, right? So normally what happens is that you will have to monitor this in your inbox, and then if a reply actually comes through, you will have to go ahead and then manually do it. But you can see here automatically the attention required changed. So the reply is now automatically recorded here. So you can see that this was the first email, and you can see that, hey, let's book a meeting. The reply is automatic. This is the magic of PowerUp. So you can send email, the reply is automatically recorded back, and the automation, you can see that the attention required changed. That is because I already had created another automation earlier. So if you go here, my second automation is that from a client. So what happens that we have a trigger called on email received. So we did receive an email, at which point I just updated the status to attention required. So now you don't have to check the inbox. You come into Notion, you know that this record requires attention. Why? I open it, I know that a customer has replied, and then here's a response, and I can take action. All right, now if I want, I can reply directly from here, or you can deal it with inbox. So Notion also allows you to PowerUp also allows you to come down here, set up your own domain and send emails from here, which I'm not going to get into. This is just to introduce the tool. So yeah, you can do that. So that is the power. And then apart from these two triggers in the automation section, there are a few nice other triggers. A third one I have is called follow. What this one does is that every day at 22 every day, you can change it to whatever time, let's say 10 o'clock in the morning. You can have a schedule which then goes ahead, scans the whole database and find out anybody who is in the status of contacted, our original status, and then we can, after 2 days, we can send a follow-up email. So in my inbox there's already a follow-up email which I tested yesterday. So yeah, that's it. That's about it. So PowerUp is a really good tool if you're using Notion and if you want to do more powerful automations than what Notion gives. So here you can see that automation gives really, nuanced actions. And then you can have your print statements, you can have a lot of things. And if you want to work with code, and if you're a coder, you can just switch to code. And then instead of dragging and dropping, you can have, a full code window to create your automations using the code, which is really powerful. Yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. If you have any questions about how to build databases or how to build CRMs using Notions, how to connect Notion with automation and email providers, just let me know. Cheers, bye bye.